Hi everyone, this is Gayle. Welcome to my Bodacious channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about my pet slash service dog first aid kit. And I want to welcome you to the channel. My name is Gayle. We do this live stream on Saturday nights on different topics at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're tuning in and you like what you see, come on back and try us again, because Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. So thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I'm excited to see you. Let me see. We have already had comments left by Pet and Chick. So hi, Pet and Chick. And Pet says, my very own first aid kit. And we also have been joined by Gloria Accardo, who's also left a comment. So hello, Gloria. It's good to see your comment. I know Gloria can't be with us tonight, but she did stop in and say hi, so it's good to see you. And we have been joined by Money Fluffy Bunny. Says, Gayle, I had a service dog come to my job today. I was in awe. That sounds good. That sounds real good. So I take it the dog was well behaved and with its owner and very happy. You know, service dogs should be well behaved. They should be quiet. You shouldn't know they're there unless they're alerting. I'm going to turn this sideways just a little bit. I got to scoot over. It's hard for me to get adjusted to this. I'm having to set the camera a little differently now than I used to, just because of a slightly different desk set up. So sorry about that. Money Fluffy Bunny says, yes, it was. Stellar Piper is in the house. Hello, Stellar Piper. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Candy the Wee Service Dog as well. Good to see you all. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I am so excited. I've got a first aid kit that we're going to go over. Now, I want to tell you, I am not an expert at pet first aid, so I consulted with someone. I know I spent 13 years with a service dog. He passed away, so I'm getting the successor dog in June. It was important to me to update. And there are some different things in this pet slash service dog kit than there were in my other one. And I added some supplemental stuff to it based on the advice of my younger daughter, who is not a YouTuber. But she is a former vet tech, and she owns a small hobby farm with several different types of animals. So I felt like she was a good person to go to there. And let's see, Money Fluffy Bunny says, nicely behaved in a restaurant business. Unlike last week, we had a guest that told us their dog was a, quote, service dog, which then it wasn't. It was barking and misbehaving. Barking and misbehaving is a definite sign of a dog who is not a service dog, but their owner may be claiming it to be a service dog, or the service dog is woefully undertrained. So those create bad situations for everyone. And I'm going to get into that probably on a future live stream. But just know, yeah, service dogs are supposed to be very well behaved, mannerly, quiet, go under the table, all those things, and you should not know that the service dog is there. Unless, of course, you see the service dog or notice the tail sticking out from under the table, in which case that's a little different. Have a service vest on. Yeah, but the thing is, you don't always have to have a service vest on. The law actually does not require that. A lot of people don't know that. But there is no law requiring a service dog to be in a service dog vest. So, yeah. So, I also have to show you, somebody has asked me about the water bottle bowl that I showed last week. So I want to show this again. Also, I want to thank Alyssa for sending it in. She's a viewer, and she saw my address down below in the description box, and she wanted to send something just to help. So this is, for me, like one of the coolest things. Now, this gizmo is a full kit. it came with trash bags for picking up after puppy and a bowl. But the water bottle itself is a bowl. And it's funny, this has come up actually a couple of times in conversation. Gloria wanted me to show this again. I was talking to her a little while ago. This has a carabiner on it, so I can clip it to whatever I need to. Strap, so I can put it over my wrist if I choose to. And it's got a nicely tight seal. But what makes this awesome is all of those features combined with this flip-up silicone, and that makes a bowl. So lift this up. Get it out of the way there. Lift it up and turn it to where the water comes out of the bottle into the bowl and the dog can drink. So you've got a source of clean water that you can put in the bowl. And when the dog's finished, just flip this down and use a sanitizing wipe to wipe it off and clean it up good. So this, I really like the idea of having it because, like I said, I've got my clean water source. I've got a bowl, and I'm going to clean the bowl after it's used. And it's going to be convenient to carry around. So I am super stoked about this. So my goal is to take this with me when I go to class for the service dog. Let's see who has, somebody has joined us. Oh, Tanya Lambert. So hi, Tanya. Welcome tonight. Welcome. Money Fluffy Bunny says, have to go. She's being called toward a podcast. Good to see you, though, as always. So thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So, okay, that's my water bottle bowl. And the nice thing I like about everything they sent in this kit, which she sent me the link to the product. So I have put this down in the description box down below. It's in my Amazon store. So if you go to my Amazon store, which is linked, and you go to the pet and service dog section, you will find this whole kit. So anyway, everything in this box has got the carabiners on it. So hopefully even I can't lose it this time, because y'all know me. Even the bags have a carabiner clip. So yeah. So all right, I kind of wanted to do that at first. Set that over here. So okay. Correct, Gail. It is called working your service dog naked. That makes sense to me. That's having a service dog out there without a vest. And with Tomlin, sometimes I put a vest on him and sometimes I didn't. My previous service dog was a husky mix with a double fur coat. So it provided that extra insulation. But sometimes, like specifically when I went to Central Florida, we got there during a unprecedented heat wave, and it was super, super hot. So, for example, I didn't put his service vest on him just because it was so blasted hot, but I did carry it with me on my arm so people could see, hey, this is a service dog. So, Tanya's saying she finds that does not work as well as a water bowl for Archer. His muzzle is too large, and that's going to happen sometimes. Hopefully this will work out. It looks like it's got one of the bigger bowls on it, so hopefully it'll work out. I'm planning on it working out. I don't think I'll know until I try, you know? So that's all I can do. I at times work Archer naked as he needs to behave either way. That is very, very true. Okay, and as we talk, I'm actually doing an unboxing. I just took the service dog kit out. And I'll show you a couple of things that I got to add to the kit. Okay, Candy says she understands. So very, very good. Okay, so the kit, this is the part that I got straight off of Amazon, and I've got it linked in the pet store. And again, like I said, I'm not an expert. I just consulted with somebody and looked to see what my previous pet kit had in it and went from experience on what to add. And there are a couple of things that I cannot put in the kit, not without a prescription, and that is nausea medication and diarrhea medication. I'll have to have a prescription from those. So my service dog can't have those until after he's set up with the vet, or she. But I do already have that appointment made. Yeah, the vet clinic was like, okay, you're making an appointment for June? You mean May? And I was like, no, I mean June. Y'all have to, you have to hear this. I am, it was so funny. I'm going to do the first aid kit first, and then I'll tell you my funny part about making the reservation for my appointment for my service dog to be seen at the vet. So, okay, just took the tape off. And if you all who have been there and done that with your dogs, let me know if there's something else that you think can be added to this kit. Just drop me a comment here in the chat. All right. Ta-da! Pet first aid kit. That's what we got. Nice overwrap here. This has got a carabiner on it, by the way. So helpful. These carabiners are so helpful. So, all right. Now, in here, it is packed to the gills, okay? And I have a little roll of tape. A bandage, so I can wrap around legs or paws or whatever I need to. I have a whistle. I am not sure why I have a whistle, but I have a whistle. I have a tick remover tool. Tweezers. Q-tips. Vinyl gloves. Vinyl. The reason I am saying vinyl is because I was so happy that they weren't latex. I have a latex allergy. Kind of like, yeah, just add it to the list. Big list of things I'm allergic to. So, gauze pads. These are nice and large. And yes, some of these can be used for humans too. Bandage scissors. Vet wrap. Isn't that cute though, with a little dog print, paw prints on them from the doggy? Yes, I have Pepto-Bismol too, and I have Benadryl. So yeah, those are, I feel like, pretty important to have. I just can't get anything prescription. This also came with an emergency thermal blanket. I don't really know that the dog's going to stay covered up with this, but we've got it just in case. Then we've got an iodine type prep pad, sting relief, so if it should get stung by a bee. And let's see, Tanya's saying that she adds the Pepto-Bismol pills and Benadryl. They'll work as a stopgap if you absolutely have nothing else to work to get to your vet. Stellar says she'd add some wider vet wrap. Candy says nitrate gloves work better for her, less chance of allergies from them. Tanya says triple antibiotic ointment. Extra of that is always a plus because you can use it for humans or dogs. Yep, I've actually got some right over here because I could not find one single first aid kit that had everything in it that I thought I would need. So I've got some supplemental stuff. So we'll get to that too. An antiseptic towelette came with it. And we've got pet eye wash, which goes with it. So that's what came in the kit. I think it's a pretty good starter kit. What do you all think? Let me know, because I think it's got a good framework. I like that it comes in an orange pouch so I can find it easily. Because if you've ever been in an emergency situation and you have had to find something quickly, having bright colors really makes a difference. And of course, this blaze orange is used for, lots of situations. Now, I am trying to figure out how this all goes back in, and I'm not having any luck. So I'm going to put this aside. I'll get to the luck on that a little bit later. I'll have to put some serious work into this, which if you all saw my video about how I got so much stuff into my other little bag that I carry with me, my husband calls it my junk drawer. So if you all saw that video, when I sit down, I'll be able to pack this thing. So, Tanya's also saying at Walmart, you can get some ear wash. That's good to have too, because sometimes they get something in their ear. Did not think about that. And Stellar says, yeah, other than some wider vet wrap, I think you've got a solid kit there. Thank you. Like I said, this is kind of the bones for it. So other things I picked up to include with the kit are all this rattling. Triple antibiotic ointment. And I was cautioned by somebody about the pain relief. Apparently, the pain reliever in some of the antibiotic ointments makes the dog want to lick at it more. I don't know if that's true or not, but based on that person's advice, who was not my daughter, by the way, I went ahead and got the non-pain relief kind, just the Equate generic. To induce vomiting, I have hydrogen peroxide. I'll tell you, it was hard to find this in a small bottle. I was actually hoping for a much smaller bottle than what I've got, but this is what they sent. This is what I could find, not what they sent. Okay, we've also got, somebody said I needed wider vet wrap. I think that was Stellar. First aid section at Walmart. This is called self-adhering, but it's the same thing. And that is much wider. And this was like, I don't know, about $3. You're not going to find this linked in my shop because I haven't looked to see yet if they have it or not. If they do, I'm going to put it in. But this is much wider. So I think there'll be times where I need the more narrow and times where I need the thicker. So I'm going to definitely hold on to both of those. And I have got, in the other room, I have got a bottle of iodine to clean with, and I've got a bottle of water to help with the wash things out. If you should get something stuck, get a cut or something and get something stuck in it, I've got a bottle of sterile water. And let's see. One of those needs a list of droppers that you use to give baby medicine with. Would be good to put in your pet's case in case you need to put something down their throat. She also says, that was for Tanya. And Candy says, sunscreen on light-colored dogs, for instance, greyhound and hairless dogs. I had to use sunscreen on Candy on her when her back was shaven for surgery 6 years ago. I did not know about the sunscreen. That's a wonderful idea. That is something I usually have for people along with me, but I'll see if I can find a little tube for dogs just in case. And let's see. I do like the idea of the dropper too. I'm going to check into that and see if I can find a dropper. Good idea. And something else too, this dog doesn't know me. So even though it's a service dog, I feel better just in case something was to happen. I'm not planning on it, but y'all know me. Enough said. I went ahead and picked up a muzzle. Now, this was at PetSmart, and I'm praying that I got the right size. If not, they promised me I could bring it back and exchange it. So, top paw adjustable mesh muzzle. I got it for dogs 80 to 100 pounds. Basically, on the size, I just flung myself on the mercy of the PetSmart staff, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting some kind of doodle, burner doodle, golden doodle, labradoodle, some kind of doodle. What size do I need? And so she was really very happy to help me out. And this was the size that we got. And it's just the black, which you can't see. It's just a black mesh muzzle. It's the same kind I used for Tomlin. You just pop it on. And then, you know, whenever you're finished, just take it off. So it's the same kind. Tomlin could still like have a little treat through it and things like that. So it wasn't going to be like super tight. It's not like you're tying the jaws shut. You're just limiting with the muzzle. And with Tomlin, once he got used to me, you know, we really didn't need it. But this dog being brand new and not really knowing me, that's going to take a while to build trust. And as y'all know that are in here that have service dogs, trust building is everything with a service dog. And that's not something that happens instantly. Just because the dog is well trained and wonderful, it takes time. It's like any other friendship. You know, you've got to invest the time to really let that friendship grow. It's the same thing with dogs. But until that happens, so just to keep, you know, everything safe and whatnot, I've got the muzzle. Not planning on using it much, if at all. Let's see. Tanya's saying you can also get the ear wash and wipes at Walmart. That might be easier to keep in your kit. Yeah, I'm actually going to get some ear wipes. That's a good point. I used the Vetwell ear wipes with Tomlin, and I loved those. But I think some ear drops are going to be a better idea, or not a better, an additional idea for the kit. Candy saying, yes, they can get sunburn. So that was good to know. And Tanya saying you can also use your legs, loop it against through the handle, and then put it over the muzzle and hold it like, yeah, you can. And she's also saying, yeah, you don't always fall in love with your dog right away. My friend took her 6 months. Yeah, it's like any other friendship. You know, it's going to take a while, and it's not going to happen instantly. So I think that it's really important, whether you're getting a pet or a service dog, to realize that it's not going to be instantaneous. God bless it if it does, because that's wonderful. But it's one of those things that's just going to take time. You have to get to know each other. So, and Tanya says leash, she means. Yeah, you can use your legs, hold the leash, wrap it around, and you can do that. I just thought it'd be easier to have the muzzle, because when I go to put my leg around the dog, I'm going to tumble, and that's not going to be good for me. Oh, one more thing that I'm staring at here. I went ahead and picked up, I'm going to cut this open because it doesn't need to be sealed for shipping anymore. But I went ahead and picked up water block tape, which is just, I don't know if you can see it. It blocks the water. This specific brand, Johnson & Johnson, was recommended to me. And another friend of mine pointed out that you really have to have waterproof and not the paper tape that we humans, or at least this human, loves. And that's because they're going to lick it. You're going to need something that's going to not disintegrate when it gets wet. So there we go. I don't plan on carrying one of those cones of shame like dogs have to wear sometimes after they have surgery and so forth because they're so big. So I feel like if I need one of the cones of shame, we're going to be taking, if the dog gets hurt, we're going to take it to a higher level of care and they should have one. So that's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Peter Parker says, hello, it's 99 above here, and tomorrow there's a snowstorm. That is crazy. Whoever made Mother Nature mad, please send her chocolate and an apology note. The weather is crazy. So, all right. That's my first aid kit, and I appreciate you all's input because there's several things I think I do need to get to help bump that up. And also, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that probably another pair of vinyl gloves would be a good idea too. Just in case, because, sometimes you put your hand through the glove and not into the glove, things like that. So I think I'll get another pair or two, whatever comes in the package with that. Dollar Tree used to have them. I'm going to look there first, or I guess I should say the $1.25 tree now. So yeah. That's what we'll do. So, funny story about setting up my dog's first vet appointment. There are several questions that they ask you when you set up the appointment. Number one, what is the dog's name? What breed is the dog? What size is the dog? What gender is the dog? So the conversation goes kind of like this on the phone. I'm calling and it's like, hello, Banfield, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this dog in June. It's a service dog. I want to make sure to get them on the Banfield plan pretty much immediately. So, yeah, I need an appointment for this date in June. And she's like, oh, okay. Now, you said June. You meant July, right? And I'm like, no, June. And she's like, okay. And I gave her this specific date. And she's like, we go through morning, afternoon, blah, blah, blah. Get that squared away. And then she's like, okay, what's your dog's name? I don't know. You don't know the name of your dog? Nope, not yet. Okay. And I'm like, can you put in TBD? And she was like, yeah. Okay. What gender is it? I don't know. That's a really good question. Okay, so you don't know the name of your dog or the gender? No. All right. Well, what breed is it? I don't know that either. And you just hear her go, like thinking in her mind, there's that pause of like, okay, so you don't know the gender, you don't know the breed, and you don't know a name. Nope. Okay, well, how big is the dog? Golden Doodle, Labradoodle, Bernedoodle size? She's like, okay, there's a difference. And I'm like, yeah, it's one of those three. Just pick one and put it in. And you could almost hear this poor Banfield employee at the vet hospital going, is this for real? And I was like, I promise you, this is all legit. Okay. I don't know. The service dog agency will tell me when they present the dog to me. I promise you. And she was like, okay. So anyway, that's my funny story. I totally had her confused for a few minutes on like the whole thing because I didn't know all the information to put down. But it all worked out. At least I think it did. So far, they haven't called me and verified or canceled the appointment or anything. But I thought you all would enjoy that. Let me see. Back over here to the chat. And Gayle made Mother Nature. No, Gayle did not, obviously. Made Mother Nature mad. LOL. Who knows? Somebody did. Okay, and Tanya's saying, always have something though, like Benadryl or something that we have to go outlet bit or stung, you can give them something right away. And she says if they get bit or stung. She says she went through the same thing because she made a doctor's appointment before she had his name or anything. Yeah, and that makes sense. To me, it makes sense. It just totally confused the poor clerk. And in this day and age where people are calling and pranking and things like that, she was real professional, but you could just kind of hear it in her voice, like, is this legit? I'm like, yes, it is. So don't worry. Benadryl, though, Tanya, totally good point on the Benadryl. That is something that I always have to carry with me because I have a couple of anaphylactic allergies. So Benadryl and epinephrine, I always have those. So I'm good on that. I do have Pepto-Bismol to put in there. I got the tablets. So I've got that too. So make sure to have tweezers to remove ticks. Yep, I've got those right here. They came in the kit. And I do have a pair of metal tweezers that I can add to the kit along with these. I'm just not sure if they're going to be because if the dog moves real fast, I don't want to accidentally jab the dog with the tweezers. And if something like that happened, these are less likely to hurt. But I do think they're firm enough that they should be able to pull the tick because they'll go totally closed. And some things, I do have a human first aid kit. So some things I can grab from the human first aid kit if I need to. So yeah, but thank you all for those suggestions. Tanya says her vet just laughed and rolled with it. Good. I'm glad. Mine probably will too once they get to know me, but I wanted something as close as possible to where we're going to be so I can get the dog and then literally on the way home have the dog enrolled in the wellness plan, because that way if anything should happen, it's already on the wellness plan, so things are already in motion. One of the things that actually there's several things that I really like about their wellness plan, and I am not payroll for pets for Banfield or anything like that. I started to say PetSmart, and that's because a lot of Banfields are inside PetSmart. The several things I like about the wellness plan is it is a monthly fee, but with that, there's some lab work and there is no fee. Like if I just needed to take the dog to the vet to have the dog looked at, just random, there's no fee for that. That's all covered with Banfield. If I was, heaven forbid, if I was in Yukon and he got into a skirmish with an off-leash dog, I can pick up the phone and I can call their vet helpline 24 hours a day. And I'm also allowed a certain number of vet telehealth visits. So if I'm out somewhere like that, or if I'm out at the Arctic Circle up in Alaska and something happens, then I have backup. And so I get that along with the wellness plan, which really means a lot to me, and that helps. Plus, if I do have to have some kind of something done at Banfield that's not covered under the wellness plan, I get a discount. So that's nice too. So for all of those reasons, I really want to get the dog enrolled as quickly as possible. So seeing this vet will probably be like a one-time thing. So yeah, let me see what else we've got. Let's see. Tanya said her vet just laughed and rolled with it. Yes. And says that doggy can have allergies as well. Very true. Very true. She says Archer got really sick when a lady was trying to force feed him a biscuit he was allergic to. Ooh. I would have filed charges. I really would have. I would have made like a huge stink. If anybody does that to my service dog, they are going down. We're going to have it out right there. Oh, put extra boots in a kit. Yeah, boots are something that with dogs, until they get used to them, they don't really like them. So having extra is a big deal. So yeah. Let's see. Candy, the wee service dog, is saying, yes, my Chihuahua I had before Candy took a Benadryl capsule daily. Tanya's also saying that tweezers are good to get thorns or briars or burrs out of fur. I had not thought about that, but that makes complete sense because those little burrs can just stick like the dickens. So, yeah, even like onto your skin. Like when we went out to New Mexico, there's like these little burrs everywhere. So, yeah, good point. Tanya's saying that Archer was sick when she got him and she wasn't ready for it and said, as you said, when asked about cares, that's one thing I was upset about. I would have been upset too. I really hope that was a one-time thing with them, but you just never know. So that's also a side benefit of taking the dog to the vet immediately. But I really want to get the dog enrolled and start that plan as soon as possible. Just as like, hey, something weird was to come up. I mean, you don't know. So, yeah. Antonia says she had her hands full and everyone was watching, not helping, so I did not get her information. Yeah, I would have been like blasting that security camera footage and having them call the police. So I can be pretty forceful when I need to be. So I am so sorry that that happened to you, that this lady would have done that, but I'm really, really glad that he was okay. So, yeah, scary stuff there. And you never know what you're going to get into with service dogs. You know, people take it upon themselves to do lots of different things. So one of the things that happened, like with Tomlin, it made me furious, was when I was at a conference with Tomlin and we had been outside. It was on break. We'd been outside. So I made sure, as always, that he had something to drink. It was hot that day. You always want to make sure that they've got plenty of fluids, just like with humans. So I go back into the hall there where they were having this big meeting. And I was there for a couple of minutes. And this woman walks up and she takes a cup of water and she puts it down right in front of his nose and just gives me this harsh look. And I'm like, I was just kind of flabbergasted. Now, I'm sitting there. My boss is like 2 rows down. It's like, do you really want to make a scene with your boss right there? But I just looked at her back and Tomlin just went ahead and took a lap. And I was like taking the water away. But I'm like, how smart is it to put anything within a couple of inches of a dog's snout and you don't know that dog? You know, she needed to be really, really, really glad that Tomlin was a trained service dog, because if it had just been random dog, you don't know. But anyway, I'll get off on that later. Yeah. Let's see. They told her she was sick when they gave him to her. This is Tanya talking about Archer. And says she tried really hard to give Gayle, took all the good and the bad out of care so she can make an informed decision. Yes, absolutely. She's been great to give me lots of information. And some of this, I think, is just the nature of the beast with dealing with dogs, except you don't want to be given a sick dog. So if I am, like the side of benefit of enrolling the dog, that will be great. Because I would think that if something is wrong with the dog, I would expect the vet to catch it like right then on the first visit. Okay, Tanya's not going back because she's developed more problems surrounding autism and she wants one-to-one training. So it's going to cost a lot more. She's talking about for a replacement dog or a supplemental, because she'll have both for a little while for his replacement puppy. Yeah. And not every service dog agency fits every situation. Some are geared towards some, let's see, how do I put this nicely? Not nicely, I just need to formulate my words here. Some service dog agencies train dogs for certain things, and some train for other things. Some will only train for like one or two things. Some will train for multiple disabilities. So they will have lots of tasks to do to help their human. But in with that, there's always basic skills that the dogs always have to have, manners and so forth. So it's really not that easy to find a service dog agency. I was talking to somebody the other day, and the analogy that I often use is that it's kind of like looking for a college, because some colleges have a larger environment than others. They may be geared more for liberal arts, or it may be geared more for science and technology. So you've really got to take time picking out your college. Then you apply to the college that you want, and you hope you get in. And then once you get in, then you have to start the funding. So yeah, it's really a lot like that. So let's see. Tony's also saying that Archer is only allowed to drink in the bathroom of an establishment or outside because he's a sloppy drinker. I was thinking it's a lot like looking for preschool. Preschool is a good analogy too. Absolutely. That works. Maybe in some ways, the analogy for preschool may work a little bit better because, your toddler can't tell you, and neither can your dog. But yeah. So yeah, I think that preschool's a good analogy too. So yeah, lots of things there. So on my service dog gear, I have everything that I need. I'm going to show you some of the toys I got. And I went ahead and got dog bowls. I wasn't going to. I was going to use some of the things that I already have. But I was at the $1.25 tree and saw them and liked them. So we've got that. I'm going to show you those too. And please don't forget to give me a like on the video. Hey, don't forget, big thumbs up there. Please like the video. There's a reminder. That really helps me out with the Google algorithms. And if you share it, that really helps too. All that interaction is watched by Big Brother, by YouTube. So, yeah. It's okay. Toy haul. I wasn't going to do a haul part of the video, but I decided at the last minute I'd just go ahead and do that. So, $1.25 tree, aka Dollar Tree. That's where I got my stuff. And I'm so excited. I didn't get a lot of toys because I don't feel like the dog needs a lot of toys right at first. Just a couple. But believe me, I will be adding to this, okay? So, I got, have to get a squeaky. Have to get it. And maybe I shouldn't let the dog play with it. Maybe I should just squeak it. So that's kind of a long squeaky here. I just thought it was cute. It reminded me of Tigger. It needs to be a brighter color, but it could be Tigger. Tanya says she's excited for me. Thank you. Stellar Piper is too. I think Candy is. And I appreciate you all so much for your excitement, your positive energy, your support. Y'all are what's making this happen. Patreon, thank you. Appreciate that. All of you all who have bought jewelry, all of you all who have donated and helped and supported, you all have been amazing. Just want to say that. So, and of course, what do you always have to have if you have a dog? I have balls. And, you all can't see, but they bounce pretty good. So, yeah, I'm bouncing it on my desk. I should not do that. But it's fun. So, anyway. And I I saw this and I was really pretty shocked to see. This is a ball launcher. So it makes it easier to throw it farther. And if you've got a shoulder problem, it's supposed to be wonderful. And you can just do that with a flick of your wrist. So either wrist. So I was really excited to find this at the Dollar Tree. I'd never seen one at the Dollar Tree before. And these things can be like $15. They are normally not cheap. And you don't have to have a specific ball as long as it fits in there. So with these, I should be fine. So I'm looking forward to playing with these myself. I know. I'm a little childlike sometimes. Not childish. Let me just toss that out there. And then I went ahead and got 2 dog balls. I was going to use some plastics and things that I already had. But then I thought, these are what I used for Tomlin, the type that I used. And so they don't scoot around much, and they're big and they're heavy, and they don't blow around the yard if you have to keep them outside for any period of time at all. And when we're traveling, I'm going to have one outside and one inside. That way, wherever I am, you can get a drink easily. So, 2 bowls. They're nice and large. They're about 4 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches deep. Let's see. They are that deep. So however deep that deep is, that's where they are. Let me see. I don't have a measuring tape. So trust me on this. It's about 3 inches. What I did with these with Tomlin when I was traveling is I put a piece of what they call no skid, and you can get that at the Dollar Tree too. And you use that in your kitchen and line your cabinets with it. So like glasses won't be you won't tip them over. Like if you go to get one glass and you bump into the next one, they're not as likely to scoot around and stuff. A lot of people use it for that. But one little hack about when I'm traveling, I have the RV and I have the van. So to keep these things from scooting around, I took a piece of no skid and put it under it. And the van has got linoleum on it. So I feel like this would work at home too, to keep the dog from, pushing it with his nose and scooting it around. And with that no skid, it worked like a charm. And these things did not move. They were great. So definitely, if you've got a linoleum floor, or if you're traveling in the van or an RV, get that no skid. Okay, good stuff. That's Dollar Tree stuff, so it's not going to break you up. So yeah. So that's my first aid stuff. That's my dollar haul for the pet. So yay! I'm excited. But you all know I'm excited. Maybe I haven't said that, but I'm excited. And whoops. Tanya says, look at Five Below for good toys. Oh, I am not familiar with Five Below at all. So we don't have that where I live. So I'll have to keep an eye on that when we go traveling and check it out. She says, you all can help me raise money for my next service dog, LOL. Yeah, your best bet is going to be to find people locally that can help you raise money, because there's a lot of people online who will help you, but you're going to have a core group locally to get things done. And even for this stuff online, like when I did the auction, if I didn't have somebody helping me photograph and list and get those auction descriptions ready to go, I would have pulled my hair out. I don't know that I could have gotten it done. And then helping me monitor the auction, and then having somebody help me make jewelry. Stellar Piper was right there helping me make jewelry. We both put jewelry in the mail, being just Johnny on the spot with getting it out. So the first thing on fundraising, I would say definitely get a core group locally that you can depend on to help you. And I'm not talking about like a group of 20 or 30 or 40. But just even, 2 or 3 people plus you've got your basis for a committee right there. So you're going to need that. Certainly, I'll get you that fundraising list to you. You never received it? I thought I even put it on Facebook for you. I will get that for you, though, this evening. I'll get that link for you. So that's really, I think, the big thing about fundraising is to have a good local group. And then from there, start some online group stuff. Start a group just for you, just for this experience. Like I did one service dog fundraiser where I posted the auction. Doing some updates on there is still a really good thing. Utilize your YouTube channel if you've got one, which I know you do, but I'm just talking in general for other people who may not. Utilize that because without a group of people who are committed to help you, it's going to be 20 times harder, and your people need to be with you. It's okay to have some folks online, but you just about to make it work. You're going to have some people locally that you can call on and develop those friendships. This is where people at church or people who are volunteering with you, friends, family, this is where they all come into play. And without that, I don't know, I wouldn't have been able to do it, and I think also you have to be cognizant, like my fundraising, a lot of it came to a screeching halt, except for, a few dollars here and there and the cup and things like that, just because, prices are up on everything and people are having to conserve more. So you've got to allow for that. Certainly, definitely working with an agency was helpful for me, because when I put that letter out online and I said, here is the letter from the agency, that showed them that, if they wanted to donate through their job, they could, because it was a nonprofit. So that was very, very helpful. Some companies that will help you with fundraising will only do it if you're working through a 501c3 to get your dog. So like Pampered Chef, for example, we had that fundraiser online. Kay was amazing. Happy Trails Hiking. She really pushed it and helped people. Just did a phenomenal job as a Pampered Chef consultant. But they required me to work with an agency to have that 501c3 so the company would get their tax deduction. So that was huge, huge. So, if you're not using a 501c3 and you don't have a group of people, a tribe per se, that can help you with whatever fundraising you're doing, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So you're going to have to find a way to meet people and really develop those relationships so they can help you, because even with doing a lot online, you're still going to have to have a core group to help. So, let's see. Tanya says she doesn't have any friends locally except for one. That's all I can really talk to her and everything, but she's going through radiation soon, so she doesn't need to be around anybody. And that's hard, but you've got a little time before you start really having to raise money for the service dog, you said. So especially with you looking at 3 years out or 5 years out, if it's 3 years out, it's a little sooner, obviously. So you're going to have to write out your fundraising plan of how much you need by when. But it gives you time to meet some folks locally that can help. So I would definitely check into that. Okay, Tanya says she's sending payments on her own. That's how she'll probably do it. And she says, yes, I'm not. It's going to a single trainer. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. And it could be different. I've had some fundraising experience through previous jobs and running a ministry center and so forth. So that factored into the fundraising that I did. But it was just really super, super important to have local folks that could help me. Tanya says she's not very good at asking for help, so not really doing well with talking to strangers. I shall pay on my own. I get that. And it is really tough. But there's going to be folks somewhere that can help you locally, surely. It's a matter of finding them. Any place where you go out and you generally know people, even if you're not best buds, if it's people that you see and know, you can talk to them, maybe even your doctor's office. It could be some of the staff there that might help or might know somebody. You never know, but definitely. And y'all who are listening, dive in if you have any suggestions, okay? Because every suggestion made just helps, so definitely dive in for that. So, all right. Okay, we have been at this for almost an hour. I do want to remind you, go ahead and click like on this live stream because, again, that's very, very, very helpful. So, and share it. That's how we grow. So please do click the share button and share it. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And if you are not, I'm going to toss this out. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, you are missing out. So come join our Facebook group. And it's down there in the description box. But I tell you what, I'm going to go one better. I'm going to type it into the chat box. So you will also have the link there. But it's facebook.com/groups/Gayle Vlogs, VLOGS. And there we go. I'm going to put it in the chat too there. So yeah, now you've got it. And if you are interested in like the first aid kit and seeing more about what it's got in it, if you go to my Amazon store, that's linked in the description box. Just click on over and it'll take you to the link. So click on the service dog and pet supplies and it brings you right to the link of everything that I've gotten from Amazon that I've liked, with the exception of their water bowl bottle that was sent to me by a friend who got it off of Amazon. So thanks, Alyssa, for that again. I appreciate you. So Antonia says, so happy for you getting closer and closer to your gotcha day. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. It is, let me see. I'm going to pull up my calendar if it'll pull up. It should pull up. It's being difficult. See how many days it is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Give or take a couple of days there. 8 weeks. So close. So close. I know. But I have time still to get the crate. The booties, I'm going to wait on. I will probably get booties out there somewhere because I don't know what size dog I'm getting. So, yeah, I'll do that. But anyhow, that's where I am. Also, I do have a service dog playlist of some videos and some Q&As and stuff that I did back when I had Tomlin. Tanya said Archer's Gotcha Day was October 14, 2018. Wow. It seems like yesterday that you were getting Archer. That is amazing. So cool. So very, very cool. Because I remember you posting about it and talking about it. And here it is. I mean, it's 2022 now. So, gosh. And Tanya said, well, also, your dog's going to be 1.5 years. So It's going to outgrow a few things because it's going to be probably about half grown. I can see that too, except, for these, hopefully by the time I get him, like with Tomlin, of course, he was a husky. And after about 1.5 years, he didn't really grow that much. He grew out, but he didn't grow like taller, and his paws really didn't get bigger. So I may have just gotten lucky though. We'll see. Says 1.5 years old, and she fell in love at first sight. So I'm hoping for that. But even with that, just because I fall in love with Wonder Dog, it's still going to take time to really build that up. So that's exciting. So, all right, you all. We have been here an hour, and I do try to keep it to an hour to be cognizant of you all's time. I'm going to do a couple of longer live streams coming up like in May and June as it gets closer. But I'll advertise those in advance and let you know that it's going to be a longer live stream. So, yeah, so close, so close. So thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Have a great week. If you didn't see my video on the bookstore, go check that out, because that bookstore, it's McKay's Used Books and CDs in Knoxville, Tennessee. And that bookstore is humongous. It's like half a block long, and 2 stories high. And it's just filled with like books, CDs, albums, sheet music, camera stuff. It's just a wonderful place. So go check out that video. All right. And I'll put up a couple of more videos on this upcoming week. So on different things, mostly health. So we'll see. But y'all have a great week. And I will see you Saturday at 7 p.m. right here. And remember, it's always about #be Bodacious, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. Thanks for watching and hanging out, y'all. I'll see you Saturday. Goodbye.